Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk, your daily dose of global must-read books. Today we're exploring the book, Positioning, The Battle for Your Mind. Marketing professionals often say, if you only read one marketing book, make it positioning. This theory was introduced by Al Ries and Jack Trout in 1972. Since then, positioning has made global waves. In 2009, Fortune magazine ranked Positioning as the #1 business classic of all time. It's hailed as the most influential marketing concept in American history. Modern business unanimously broadcasted customers, but pre-1970s brands focused solely on product quality, assuming better products guaranteed sales. Positioning theory revolutionized this product-centric mindset by shifting focus to consumers' mental perception. So, what is positioning? Simply put, make your brand stand out in consumers' minds. This means asking not, what is our product, but what is our product in consumers' perception? Brand building is like claiming prime mental real estate. The authors expanded this theory across 10+ books, with positioning being their magnum opus. Today's analysis combines their works with global case studies to unpack positioning. The 22-chapter book has 2 parts. 1. Consumer mind. Argues businesses must shift focus from products to mental perception in our oversupplied era. 2. Finding positioning. Introduces 2 strategies: leader positioning and challenger positioning. Let's first explore consumer mind. The book argues that better products or branding alone can't ensure survival in today's saturated markets. Businesses must shift focus from products to owning space in consumers' minds. Trout and Ries developed the positioning concept to help brands secure a unique dominant position in consumers' minds. Why focus on brand positioning in consumers' minds? Because consumers are bombarded with excessive information and advertising. Consumers' minds resemble water-soaked sponges already saturated with information. Only by displacing existing information can new content find mental space. Companies focusing solely on advertising channels rather than mental real estate will find their brands rejected despite massive ad spending. Ries and Trout identified 3 mental characteristics marketers must understand. 1. Limited brand recall capacity per category. Mentally, we can only store limited information. Harvard psychologist Dr. George Miller found people can't process more than 7 information units simultaneously. This explains why we remember 7 wonders, 7 dwarfs, and similarly limited brand lists. Most consumers can't name 7 brands in any product category. Try recalling camera brands: Nikon, Canon, Sony. Most people can't list 7. Even being among the 7 dwarfs isn't safe. Why? They describe mental hierarchy. Top-rung brands get chosen first, lower ones get ignored. Most categories become duopolies: Coke vs Pepsi, My Twin vs LM, Ma Bike by SOFO, Yellow Bikes. Second characteristic: existing perceptions are nearly immutable. Brand perceptions form over decades through accumulated experiences, impossible to alter quickly. Never attempt to alter consumers' longest-established perceptions about products or brands. It's unrealistic and irrational. Let's examine Coca-Cola's marketing misstep. In 1985, Pepsi captured 30% of the North American market by positioning itself as the cola for the younger generation, threatening Coke's dominance. Panicking under pressure, Coca-Cola launched New Coke. Blind taste tests showed 6% higher preference over Pepsi. Executives were brimming with confidence. But New Coke became a colossal failure, forcing Coca-Cola to reintroduce classic Coke within months. Coke failed to understand. Changing formulas is easy. Altering decades of brand perception is nearly impossible. Classic Coke had become an American icon, its taste woven into generations' memories. Never challenge deep-rooted consumer perceptions with new products. Third characteristic, mental perceptions are vulnerable to information clutter. In our information-saturated era, competitors constantly threaten to displace existing brands in consumers' minds. Consider Samsung's Chinese market share, 20% in 2013, plummeting to below 3% by 2017. What caused this collapse? Domestic rivals like Huaymo and Xiaomi rose aggressively, while netizen explosions and jolly controversies eroded Samsung's brand perception. Given these mental characteristics, how can brands secure mindshare? Positioning theory offers three methods: establishing leadership, leveraging authority, and strategic repetition. You're certainly familiar with these classic advertising phrases. Out of every 10 herbal tea cans sold in China, 7 are Jiadu Apo, the official milk of the Olympics. When giving gifts this season, only accept no Biogene. These slogans respectively communicate market leadership, establish authority, and employ strategic repetition. Let me explain these three methods in detail. First method, establishing market leadership, one of the most common marketing strategies. This approach works by leveraging consumers' herd mentality. In saturated markets, consumers tend to follow the crowd toward leading brands. Jiadu Obo successfully employed this strategy in China's competitive beverage market. After splitting from Wang Laoji in 2012, Jiadu Pa retained assets but lost brand recognition overnight. As a new brand facing a 17-year established competitor, few believed in Jiadu Pa's survival. But they proved otherwise. Jiadu Pa rapidly gained mindshare through leadership positioning. Strategist Deng DeLong stated, Coca-Cola could rebuild from ashes overnight, emphasizing leadership status over brand name. The key lies not in the brand name, but its perceived leadership position. We applied this principle to rebuild Jiadu Apo Awo. In 2012, Jiadu Apo launched its iconic leadership campaign. 7 out of 10 herbal teas sold in China are Jiadu Apo, reviving the brand through leadership positioning. By late 2012, Jiadu Apo surpassed Wang Laoji in market share through mental dominance. Second method, authority endorsement, leveraging experts or celebrities. Using psychological trust in authority figures, as seen in Jiadu Pabo, Wang Laoji campaigns. Post-split, Jiadu Apo featured herbal tea, heir Wang Kagi, to authenticate its legacy. But what if brands lack Opo? By level budgets for celebrity endorsements. There's a smarter approach. Leverage industry leaders to establish your mental positioning. In China, you'll see claims like top 3 tonics, ginseng, deer antler, and yao rides on established perceptions. Another example, 2 premier Chinese sauce aroma Baiju brands, one being Ananguolang. King Guolang strategically associates with Mutai to claim mental territory. Why doesn't Enja Hualeng directly compare with Mutai? Chinese advertising laws prohibit direct competitor comparisons, hence the subtle reference. Third method, strategic repetition. Once positioned, repeat relentlessly. Simplicity cuts through mental clutter like a dagger. Repetition combats memory decay. Silent brands get forgotten in our fast-paced world. Nao Baijin's unchanging slogan exemplifies this strategy. Volvo consistently reinforces safety through decades. Nao Baijin owns the gift-giving scenario through repetition. Volvo continuously enhances safety features to maintain perception. Our cluttered world makes brand X for product I ubiquitous. The more complex the environment, the more effective repetition becomes. This concludes the consumer mind section of positioning theory. Summary: positioning theory emerged in product-saturated eras. It shifts business focus from products to mental real estate. 3 mental characteristics. 1. Limited brand recall capacity. 2. Existing perceptions are nearly immutable. 3. Susceptibility to information, interference, and mental clutter. 3. Methods for mindshare. Leadership positioning, authority, endorsement, and strategic repetition. This concludes part 1 of positioning. You might think positioning is simple number 1 in sales, or cups sold could circle earth. Anyone could write these. This assumption is dangerously wrong. Slogans are surface manifestations. True positioning requires strategic depth. Identifying the optimal positioning is the real marketing challenge. This brings us to part 2. Finding your positioning. In Troup's Marketing Warfare, he states, business is war. Companies must identify competitors' weaknesses and launch targeted campaigns. How to identify weaknesses and execute attacks. 2 positioning models exist: market leader and market challenger. First model, market leader. Positioning. Market leaders emphasize dominance to maintain top mental positioning. Positioning poses an intriguing question. Where does a 300 kilograms gorilla sleep? Answer: anywhere it wants. Market leaders maintain dominance through sheer momentum. Leadership strategy requires 2 actions: reinforce dominance and maintain focus. China's e-bike market illustrates this. Since 2012, market leaders AIMA and Yadea have been locked in competition. Both employed positioning consultants in their rivalry. Answer: IMA consistently emphasized market leadership against Yadea. Ironically, Yadea first claimed leadership status in 2012. Despite IIMA's superior sales, Yadea declared itself industry leader. Answer: IMA recognized the importance of mental leadership, investing hundreds of millions in 2012 to counter Yadea's challenge. Atzer IMA's campaign boasted, first to sell 3 million e-bikes annually, the true leader, backed by sales data that crushed Yadia's claims. Since then, Atzer IMA has solidified its undisputed market leadership position. The second leadership strategy, brand focus, becoming synonymous with specific categories or attributes. Jiadu po equals herbal tea category, focus. Volvo means safety attribute focus. Brand extensions like Jiadu Apo, instant noodles, or fashionable Volvos would be disastrous. The former represents category extension error, the latter attribute dilution. In focus, Reese advised adding new categories rather than product variations within existing lines. Example: GM should create new sub-brands for budget cars instead of cheap Cadillacs. Brand extension doesn't cause immediate losses. Short-term benefits include leveraging existing brand equity, but long-term brand erosion becomes evident in competitive markets. Second positioning model. Challenger. Strategy. How to dethrone leaders. Positioning suggests finding mental white space in consumers' minds. Leaders own comprehensive dominance. Challengers seek category-specific supremacy. Once identified, simplify messaging to own that mental niche. How do challengers discover these niches? 3 methods. 1. Demographic segmentation. Different groups have distinct needs. The one-size-fits-all product era has ended. Challengers must target niche markets through differentiated positioning. Common strategies include exploiting gender-based and age-based market gaps. Marlboro cigarettes exemplify successful gender gap permission. Today, Marlboro immediately evokes rugged cowboy imagery. Originally targeting female smokers in the 1920s. Post-WWI America saw hedonistic young women embracing champagne and cigarettes, Marlboro's initial focus. However, sales remained dismal. In 1954, desperate Marlboro hired legendary marketer Leo Burnett to boost female sales. Burnett refused to be constrained by the original brief. He deemed Marlboro's feminine image too bland. Boldly repositioning to target male smokers. Not urban professionals, but untamed Western cowboys became Marlboro's archetype. This archetype resonated with freedom-seeking consumers worldwide. The genteel Marlboro vanished. The rugged version emerged. By 1955, Marlboro ranked among America's top 10 cigarette brands. In 1975, it dominated U.S. tobacco sales, eventually becoming global leader. Age-based positioning offers another strategic gap. Pepsi's choice of new generation narrowed the gap with Coca-Cola. Second challenger. Strategy. Exploit product, features, appearance gaps. Consumers evaluate multiple factors: aesthetics, price, functionality. Each offers positioning opportunities. Focusing on design. Function gaps. Consider Volkswagen Beetle's classic case. While early 20th century automakers elongated bodies annually, Beetle adopted short, wide proportions. Though considered ugly by conventional automotive standards, the Beetle took Europe by storm. Its success stemmed not from reversed aesthetics, but from addressing genuine consumer needs. Post-war austerity forced families to prioritize FOFI. The Beetle's low price met essential transportation needs. Its sturdy chassis offered exceptional durability, economical yet reliable. These features fueled European success, prompting U.S. market expansion. Volkswagen faced challenges as a foreign brand in America's automotive powerhouse. The iconic Think Small campaign by William Birnbach revolutionized car advertising. Birnbach's self-deprecating ads embraced the Beetle's quirks rather than hiding them. One ad read, 18 New Year students crammed into a roofless Beetle. Tight squeeze. Perfectly sized for nuclear families. Parents, plus 3 children. This playful copy highlighted practical advantages through humor. The campaign propelled Volkswagen to become Europe's top automaker and global fourth. While Beetle succeeded through minimalism, maximalism also works, as Pepsi demonstrated. In 1934, Pepsi challenged Coke with bigger bottles at same price. Doubling capacity from Coke's 6.5 ounces to 12 ounces bottles. Twice as much for a nickel campaign reshaped consumer value perception. The more for same price strategy appeared simple but struck at Coca-Cola's weakness. Coke's existing 6.5 ounces infrastructure and millions of vending machines made rapid response impossible. This strategy propelled Pepsi past Royal Crown Cola during WWII, becoming Coke's closest competitor. These cases demonstrate size-based differentiated positioning. Physical dimensions matter, but not all products can leverage this attribute. Products without size relevance must find alternative positioning angles. Feihe's milk powder offers China's recent classic positioning case. After the 2008 melamine scandal destroyed consumer trust, Feihe struggled despite passing safety checks. Foreign brands dominated 80% of premium urban markets, forcing domestic players into price wars. Feihe needed breakthrough positioning to escape this trap. Their solution, better suited for Chinese infants' needs. Global brand strength became their weakness, unable to customize for Chinese babies. Foreign formulas couldn't address specific Chinese nutritional requirements. Feihe built China's largest breast milk database through local advantage. In 2016, Feihe rebranded with premium Starswell series and new positioning slogan. Localized positioning drove 80% growth, making Feihe China's top infant formula brand. Feihe staged a remarkable comeback by securing strategic mental positioning. Third challenger, strategy. Opposite positioning against competitors. The stronger the competitor, the more effective oppositional positioning becomes. 7-Up's classic case illustrates this principle. Though introduced in the 1920s, cola dominated beverage consumption for decades. 2 out of every 3 U.S. beverage purchases were colas. Cola became cultural export through WWII military supply lines. 7-Up adopted radical positioning, the uncola, segmenting beverages into cola, non-cola categories. 7-Up became non-cola leader, rising to global third. While frequently cited, this case raises unanswered questions. Why doesn't 7-Up still use the uncola slogan today? If third largest globally, Why limited shelf presence now? Did positioning theory fail? Understanding requires historical context. Postone, 1967. Uncle campaign peaked in 1972 as Market Pound 3. 2 success factors. 1. Post-war counterculture, rejecting establishment symbols. Baby boomers embraced revolutionary ideals, opposing parental norms. Uncle resonated with anti-establishment, youth seeking differentiation. 2. Cola's 66% market dominance created clear oppositional space. Today's fragmented market with Fanta, Sprite, etc. weakens cola dominance. Today, declaring, not cola, holds no strategic value. Understanding these factors reveals 7-Up's contextual success and positioning limitations. Recapping positioning's core. Consumer mind and positioning stress tanks. In product-saturated markets, shift focus from products to mental real estate. Mental hierarchy determines brand selection. Higher rungs get chosen first. 3. Mental characteristics. 1. Limited brand recall per category. 2. Existing perceptions are nearly immutable. 3. Susceptible to information, clutter. 3. Mindshare strategies. Leadership. Authority. Leaders emphasize dominance and category focus. Challengers claim subcategory leadership through gap analysis. 3. Gap-finding methods. 1. Demographic segmentation. 2. Product features. 3. Oppositional positioning. 2 final notes on positioning theory. 1. Applies to tech, internet, sectors. Economic, ride-sharing, apps all employ positioning. Positioning remains vital in competitive markets. 2. Positioning isn't panacea, solves marketing challenges, not all business issues. After 40+ years, positioning permeates global commerce. Observe advertisements. Positioning wars surround us daily. Well, that concludes our discussion of positioning. Keynotes are available below the audio. We'll continue tomorrow.